Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the PAWCAST. My name is Oberok, or Obo for short. We're continuing our series through the book of John. This is John chapter 11. If you want to follow along in your own physical Bible or in the Bible app, in whichever version, you are more than welcome to, and I encourage you to do so. Also, if you would like to check out our Jesus is Alive t-shirts like this is what it looks like on a large. Right there. If you want to check that out and you're here on the YouTube, it'll be in the pinned comment, also in the description. If you're listening on Spotify, you can come over to the YouTube PAWCAST by Obo, and it'll be right there at the front, little drop down. It'll say the merch. You can check it out, and here we go. Let's get into John 11. Now, a certain man was sick, named Lazarus, of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was the Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sister sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. When he had heard, therefore, that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. Then after that saith he to his disciples, Let us go into Judea again. His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. These things said he, and after that he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go, that I may awake him out of sleep. Then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit Jesus spake of his death. But they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest in sleep. Then said Jesus unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. Now, I want to highlight this really quickly. This is super important for a couple verses coming up. So pin that, clock that. Lazarus is dead. Verse 15. And I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, I might be saying that incorrectly, unto his fellow disciples, Let us also go, that we may die with him. Then, when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off, and many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him. But Mary sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Jesus saith unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. That's verse 23. Again, clock that. So Lazarus is dead, right? In verse 14, Jesus says this. Verse 23, Jesus says he's going to rise again, right? Verse 24. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? She saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. And when she had so said, she went her way and called Mary, her sister, secretly saying, The Master is come, and calleth for thee. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now Jesus was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then which were with her in the house and comforted her, when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, She goeth unto the grave to weep there. Then, when Mary was come where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled. Now watch this. And said, this is verse 34, Where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Verse 35, this is known as the shortest verse in all of the Bible. Jesus wept. Now, the reason I wanted to build up to this point here, and I wanted to highlight Jesus saying, Lazarus is dead, right? And then say that Jesus says he's going to come back. Jesus wept. Jesus knew that he was going to raise Lazarus back up. He knew this. He had already known that Lazarus died. He abode for 2 days. He knew that Lazarus died. He knew that he was going to raise him up, but he wept. Why did he weep? Jesus was not without emotion. He was fully man. He was fully God. We think that sometimes we think that, God is completely lack of emotion. He's just all this power and yes, but we are made in his image. He has emotions. He has feelings. Jesus, literally God in the flesh, knowing that he was going to bring Lazarus back, he wept. God has emotions. So now all the more, how do you think it makes him feel when we deliberately go against him? Verse 36, Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man, which opened the eyes of the blind, have caused that even this man should not have died? Jesus therefore, again groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. Jesus said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus saith unto her, Said I not unto thee, that if thou wouldest believe, thou shouldest see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. And I know that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave cloths, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus saith unto them, Loose him and let him go. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. And I just want to highlight that really quickly. Again, there was, if I remember correctly, this is in Matthew. It's talking about, it's the parable of the rich man and the poor man, and basically saying that if you do not believe in like the law and the prophets, you would not even believe if a dead body came back. If a dead body was raised. Again, that reminds me of doubting Thomas. I'm not going to believe that Jesus has been resurrected unless I see, the holes in his hands, unless I see where the spear was thrust into his side. And then Jesus comes to them, and he says, Thomas, touch my hands, touch my side. See, you believe because you see. Blessed are those that believe and they have not seen. Whew, man. Verse 48. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest, that same year said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then, from that day forth, they took counsel together for to put him to death. Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto a country near to the wilderness into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. And the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand, and many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. Then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves as they stood in the temple, What think ye, that he will not come to the feast? Ending at verse 57. Now both the chief priests and the Pharisees had given a commandment that if any man knew where he were, he should shew it, that they might take him. So this whole time, seriously, these Pharisees are saying he has a devil, he proclaims to be God, all of these things. They were so, again, we've been talking about this, they were so focused on the law, they were so focused on all of these things that they completely missed God in the flesh. Emmanuel, God with us, God walking among us. They completely missed it. Remember, John chapter 10, the sheep know the voice of the shepherd. They do not follow the strangers. He that does not come through the door and hops over the fence, that is a thief and a robber. Jesus is the door. Go to him. And just like that, you have read or listened to chapter 11 of the book of John. I pray this blessed you, and I will catch you tomorrow for chapter 12 of the book of John.